Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group Medmath, and today I'm going to explain about PBL project second semester. First of all, I'm going to introduce all my beloved group mates, which consists of Sharabi the leader, Farid the secretary, Haras the scribe, and me, Shafi as a content creator. The scenario related to this task are is the outliers, is the set of data, how do we measure the process stability and performance based on data. We are already given a set of data which consists of three-dimension parameters which are length, width, and height from the three different operators. Now we have to observe if there are any potential outliers in the data set by using simple linear regression. Second, creating solution to improve vehicle body parts production process and maintain their quality. And the third is to evaluate the data by available method from the model. The graph of X control chart and R chart had been plotted by referring to the variable versus subgroup. When we want to find the value of plot, upper control limit and also the lower control limit, we can determine by using this formula. In this case, we do not perform S chart when the sample size is less than 10. However, the R control chart might be better suitable when we refer to the case given the subgroup size of 29, which the subgroup size is greater than 10. It would be good to examine the data range in order to understand more about the process variability and any out of control condition within each subgroup. For a variable of height, after we plot the graph, you can determine there is only one outlier inside X control chart while zero outlier inside R chart. Next, we have variable of length. After we plot the graph, we can see there also have one outlier inside X control chart while zero outlier inside R chart. For variable of width, after we plot the graph, we find out that there are four outliers inside X control chart while zero outlier inside R control chart. For a simple linear regression, it has been determined by plotting the value of width versus height, where it shows three outliers at sample number 59, 62, and 70. Next, for sample linear regression for length versus width, it shown two outliers at sample 68 and 74. And the third graph show the simple linear regression for length versus height that have two outliers at sample number 14 and 68. The top and the bottom line indicated as upper and lower limit line. There are three graphs plotted to determine their linearities by using different data set. The first graph showed the standardized residual versus leverage. The second graph showed residual versus fitted values, and the third graph showed a simple linear regression length versus height, where it is shown in increasing line slope. So we can see it is a linear. The purpose of doing Cook distance and sample number is to detect the outliers or the number of data that out of control. Here we can find out that there are three outliers data produced in R programming. Homogeneity is frequently evaluated in the context of hypothesis testing or analysis of variance to identify whether or not there are significant differences across the sample. Depending on the kind of the data and the specific analysis being conducted. There are numerous statistical procedure to evaluate data homogeneity. For example, we use chi-square test. Along this assignment, we detect there is one challenge with R programming result. The outliers of the R programming shows a significant values even we are using a different data. Theoretically, the number of outliers of R programming should be different as shown in the Excel result. So that's all from us. Thank you, Doctor. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.